Let's dive into what it might mean if Venezuela's oil industry opened up again to international companies, especially after years of nationalization. My name is Jonathan Paulette with Practical Energy Insights, where I bring you everything that's energy related in the world. The USA has carried out a massive military operation in Venezuela and captured the president of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro. In a press conference on January 3rd from Mar-a-Lago, President Donald J. Trump announced that the U.S. would, quote, run Venezuela until such time as there was a smooth transition of power, end quote. But there was no deadline when that transition would take place, so I suspect that this means there's going to be a very favorable market economy for American companies in Venezuela. To give a little historical context, back in the early 2000s, Venezuela under President Hugo Chávez nationalized its oil assets, and around 2007, foreign oil companies were required to hand over majority stakes in the state-owned company PDVSA. Companies like Chevron, ConocoPhillips, and European majors like TotalEnergies had to either accept the new terms or exit, and many ended up leaving or fighting legal battles over lost assets. So now imagine that scenario flips and the US steps in and reopens Venezuela to these international oil giants. Companies like Chevron and TotalEnergies would likely jump at the chance to reclaim operations, especially in the Orinoco Belt and around Lake Maracaibo, and to get their hands back on refineries and port infrastructure they once had stakes in. Of course, this would also mean a big shift for Venezuela's current allies, countries like Russia, China, Iran, and Cuba, because they've been close partners with Venezuela during the years of nationalization, and if those ties were suddenly replaced by US influence, they'd likely lose out on Venezuelan oil deals. That means a reshuffling of who has access to Venezuelan energy resources. Looking ahead, it'll be fascinating to see what happens come Monday, January 5th. When the markets open, we might see some of these companies' stocks climbing as investors speculate on who stands to gain the most. US refineries that can handle heavy crude might also benefit, and we could even see a little wave of hiring or redeployment as American workers head back into Venezuela. In short, it would be a major shift, not just for the companies involved, but for the global oil landscape and geopolitical alliances as well. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Practical Energy Insights. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I'd love to hear your comments on what you think is going to happen with American oil companies or foreign oil companies in Venezuela. Have a great day. Thanks for listening.